Morning, everybody. Happy hump day.
What's up, everybody?
There's a lot of cool stuff on the show today, man. You know what? This is gonna be I wrote down like 3 things so far, but I'm writing down one more, like 4 stories that I think are cool for us to get into today. That's what I think. Whether to go that way or not, I'm not quite sure. Tell you what a difference waking up this morning was, wasn't it? The weather.
A lot better.
Get those damn kids back to school.
It got better, throughout the day.
Yeah. It was weird. That was weird, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, the wind was still blowing, but it wasn't like crazy cold.
Morning, Shane. Yeah, I went to bed last night. I don't know, 11ish, something like that. Morning, Claire.
Hey, Claire.
But on the second floor, you could just hear the wind kind of like off and on. Ryan 840. Good morning.
Hey, Ryan 840. Yeah, I'll be at the game tonight. You'll be there.
Yep, I'll be there.
Thanks for those 2 tickets.
I got you.
You can't have, I don't know if you knew this or if I'm even right, but when it comes to buying tickets online through the university website,
you need an account.
Well, you need an account, but you can only have 4 tickets per account. Is that right? Do you know?
I don't know. Morning, Sarah. I have no idea. You can't go there and hit 7 tickets.
Well, you sent me your 2. Mom sent me there 2. So I had 4 already on my account. And then I tried to buy 4. And it said something like you have maxed out this listing or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Maybe 6 is the number. And I don't know.
So you had to go. So you just got 4. And you're trying to get a couple more.
Yeah. So I had my buddy buy 4 more.
I got you.
Yeah.
You guys can come say hi to Will tonight. He'll be up there with a party at 8.
Yeah.
He'll be as close to the lounge as possible in the open area of the arena.
Yeah.
Go say hi.
This will be great. Yeah.
Morning, Ernesto.
We'll be having like a little get together on the concourse.
Yeah.
So if you want to stop by and say
hi. Go say hi to Will. He'll be.
I could use it.
Yeah.
So
come say hi to him. He won't be hard to miss.
No, I'll be with a ton of drunk idiots.
Yeah.
So.
I'm joking. Not that you might not be one of them.
We won't be.
Since you're like an 8-minute walk to your house, to your place.
Yeah.
If that.
Hey, Ernesto's on. What's up, Ernesto? Sarah's on too.
He is in.
Sarah's going to the game tonight too.
Oh.
I think.
Yeah, meet up. I'll stop over and say hi to you.
Yeah, that'd be great.
We'll be walking by.
I think I heard Elijah's going to be there.
Yeah. Apparently he's covering the game tonight. It's an interesting game. We'll talk about it coming up. Henry T coming up. And like I said, I got like 4 stories I think are just kind of fun. We got some audio for 2 of them. I sent you a couple audio pieces.
For what?
Didn't I give you the there's a college basketball coach we need to talk about? Did I send you that?
Yeah, but I didn't see it, so I don't have it recorded, but I could try and get it during the break.
And then maybe we should talk about our own football coach throwing some shade on X yesterday. That was kind of fun.
I actually didn't see that.
I sent that to you, I believe. I think I sent it to you.
Sorry, I've been kind of
Hall of Fame baseball, and there's a couple golf stories we can get into.
This is the Morning Hookup on KFOR.
No, Jesus drives an Astro van. Yes, he does.
Good morning, Lincoln, Nebraska. Happy hump day. Welcome into the Morning Hookup. Bill Hooks, Will Wilson.
What's going on?
This is so weird.
That clock's a minute behind.
That one is, right?
Yeah.
Because I kept looking at my phone because I always look at both, right? That one's a minute behind.
Yep.
I thought maybe we were going to gift the people at least 1 more minute of us today. Just 1.
No, can't happen, man.
How does that clock get off? No, that's a weird question.
I don't know.
I got to rephrase that. How does that clock not match the normal clock? It's like a digital one.
I don't know what's going on, man.
You guys can see it over there.
My clock's been wrong for 5 months.
It's a red digital clock, and it's off.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird.
So clocks are having trouble around here.
Hey, what's weird about this, ready for the weirdest part of this whole thing?
Okay.
The digital guy right now, in about 5 seconds, going to be 10 o'clock. Okay.
Right. It's a minute behind. Mark, a minute.
This one right here is on time. It looks like it's on time.
Wow.
I
Well,
don't even know.
good thing we have phones, right?
Well, sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't want them.
Right.
Or at least I don't want my kids to have them
Sure.
because it's annoying.
Mm-hmm.
A lot to get to today. Husker Hoops tonight, 8 o'clock. Big Ten Network, USC coming to town. Nebraska like a 5.5-point favorite in this thing.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that. Coach Hoiberg spoke yesterday. We'll have Henry T. Buchanan here in a few minutes. Got a few questions. And like I mentioned on the stream, there's like 4 stories I just want to get to that are just all over the board interesting. College basketball coach said something which got if you read his lips, it was confirmed on X. I believe like Jeff Goodman might have picked it up in what he said to this official. And if that's okay. Our own football coach yesterday was on X, Twitter, trolling an SEC lover yesterday, which is awesome. I don't know if you saw that. Kind of fun stuff to talk about. Hall of Fame. Got 3 new Hall of Famers in baseball. One of them is, I don't understand it. I'll never understand it. How, like, he doesn't, like Ichiro, he's not unanimous. Missed it by 1 vote.
Mm-hmm.
CC Sabath would talk about him, and Billy Wagner became the 8th player in history to get in on their last eligible year.
Wow. I think it's crazy how there's eligibility, like there's a limit.
Yeah, get 10 years.
I think that's
Is
lame.
it 5 years after, then 10 years to get in, I think. Something like that.
That doesn't make sense.
But he got in. His story is pretty unique as a lefty closer.
Yeah.
And there's a few golf stories that we'll get to as well. I did watch TGL last night again.
Yeah.
I really wasn't into watching college hoops at 6 o'clock. It was perfect timing for me. Sitting there, and wife was gone. One of the boys was hanging out. Other boys in another room. I'm like, I'm going to watch this because, I like this stuff.
I got home around 5:30. I ate a little dinner, and it was around 6, and I was just so bored. So I went to Tavern to play some darts, and it was on. Christian had it on. So
Yeah.
this is the first time I actually got to sit down and watch it. Hooks, for the listeners out there who have no clue what we're talking about, give us a little rundown.
So it's an indoor simulated golf, right? So imagine going, not at a smaller scale, going to the golf simulator. They put a course up there. You play the course, right? Now, add in a lot of different elements to this. There's different areas. Like there's real, like if they hit it in the bunker, there's a square. Imagine a square. There's real sand.
So when they
have a lip, they can pull the lip up, right? And then there's actual fairway, real grass.
right.
Then there's actual rough. If you hit it in the rough.
So when they hit out of this natural grass, whatever lie they have, they're always hitting into the simulator, right?
Yes. Until they get within 50 yards.
Okay.
Once you get within 50 yards of the green, it's real live. There's a green.
Okay.
That changes, by the way.
Which
hole to hole.
So let me talk to you about this. I was wondering how they did that. I was like, is every green the same?
No.
They're playing different holes, but what's the point of playing different holes if the green
Changes.
stays the same?
It
And
all
no,
changes.
that's really interesting that the green what's the word? Is that
The undulation changes.
undulation?
You
I
got
knew
it.
that was a
You
golf
got
word.
it. Well
yeah.
done. Yeah, the undulation changes.
So they mechanically like change the green to match the hole, which
Yes.
I find really interesting.
Yes, and then there's 2 different sets of, I don't want to call them tee boxes, but if you're within 70, and there's a distance here and a distance here that you hit into the simulator until you get within 50 yards. Now, there's player introductions. There's teams of 3 in the golf act. There's player introductions. You learn about the players. They're all mic'd up. I did not realize that Billy Horschel was that funny.
I didn't know his
He
highest.
busted out into Atlanta and into the Dirty Bird. And you learned yesterday, and again, this is the first time I've watched the entirety from start to finish. There was the Atlanta team. The Atlanta Falcons owner, Arthur Blank, owns that team. There was the New York team yesterday, by the way, that Steve Cohen owns that team. The rights to the New York team in that. Holes 1 through 9, or they're called the triples. 1 through 9, they only play 15 holes. 1 through 9 is a triple. So that means alternate shot. Somebody tees off, somebody hits the approach, somebody putts until they hole out. You can give putts, all that stuff. They have 2 timeouts and a 40-second shot clock. Okay.
Yeah, a lot of people were excited to see Patrick Cantley golfing last night on a shot clock because it usually takes forever in between shots.
I would have thought it was be the best thing ever if he got a violation.
He didn't, though.
He did not. And then holes 10 through 15 are singles. They go mano-a-mano for points. So it's worth 15 points. You tie, you get 0. It was the first shutout in the history of TGL. I mean, short history of TGL last night. Justin Thomas, Billy Horschel, Patrick Cantley won 4-0 against Cam Young, Ricky Fowler, and somebody else. I forget. Fitzpatrick.
Fitzpatrick, yeah.
And then there's other rules. I didn't understand, but I understood it. But they had the hammer. They could throw the hammer at some point.
Right, and you could like double
the points.
So, I don't know. I'm watching this, and it's
you got Marty Smith hanging out there and doing the, you got your studio guy SVP.
Yeah,
Matthew Berry is the in-house guy.
This is the first time I watched it, like pretty much all, and I see what they're trying to do. They're trying to match with whatever Liv is doing. I don't know. They're just trying to get another thing in there. Why? The only thing I think about it, Hooks, is why are we just playing golf?
Well, they're
in Florida.
Yeah, there's additional monies out here right now. There's this thing is a tournament. It's a da-da-da. They talk about the energy that's provided, and there's a $21 million up for grabs.
But let's just go to the golf course.
I get it.
It's nice down there.
Yeah.
Like I feel like you do this if you were,
I kind of want to go to the place. I want to go watch one of these. This week coming up, by the way, Monday. I know it's Monday or whatever, but I think they're going to blow the thing out of the water with numbers this coming Monday. I think it's a 6:30 start or 5. I can't remember. 5:30, maybe 6:30 start. It's Tiger's team versus Rory's team. There'll be some big numbers this week. So we got the phone line running up right now.
Yes.
Good morning. You're on the morning hookup.
Hey, guys. I don't think I made it on the air yesterday, did I?
No, you did not.
No, you called us right when we got off.
Yeah, that's what happens when I work in the office. We got hammered with snow, sleet, everything last night.
I mean, what'd you guys get? Because I know that I've been in that area before, or at least in the Destin, Florida area a lot. That they got like 4 or 5 inches at the beach.
Yeah, we got like an inch or two, just enough to make everybody panic and not know how to drive.
No more milk, bread, and batteries anywhere in the state right now.
Correct. Yeah, I went to the Dollar Tree to get some ibuprofen, and I had to get a leave. There was nothing left.
I lived that life in North Carolina. Like everybody runs the threat of snow. They run for the milk, the bread, and the batteries. I don't know how we're going to make milk sandwiches, but it always baffled me.
That's crazy. But, for those of you who missed it, I'm in the same boat with Will. Worst time of the year to be sad and longing for somebody. But me and my wife, I called it quits. I filed for divorce yesterday.
Wow.
Tough.
Wow.
Yeah. Enough's enough. You got to rip the Band-Aid off the gunshot wound at some point. Do I want to be 60 and do it or 55 and do it?
I hear you, man.
Tough one.
This is why I shared my life, because people like you like to share your lives with us. So, that's just the type of show we have, and we're hoping you get through it, man.
Yeah, no doubt. And, I got my meeting with the EAP, the Employee Assistance Plan. I get to meet with a psychologist, because I'm down, if you need help, get it. That's my message.
Absolutely.
We love you, man.
Don't let it ruminate. All right, buddy. I'll bring it. I'll bring it again, Ernesto style, someday soon. Take care.
Got you, brother. We got you. Good message.
Hope he's
if you need help, you always should get help. By the way, no matter what the situation,
it's going around.
Always have at least if you're gonna get help, have conversations. It's
going around today.
T just texted, "Are we on today?"
Yeah, I forgot to send him the link. I'll send it to him.
Okay. Tell the tape. Tonight, 8:00. Big Ten Network, Nebraska 12-6, reeling right now. By the way, off 4 straight losses, 2-5 in the Big Ten. A team playing pretty good basketball. 11-7 USC headed to town. 3-4 in the Big Ten. Looks about a 500 point spread right now. Fred Hoiberg said a little interesting thing yesterday, and people were asking about what USC is, who they are. He said they're all about the same: long, tall, and athletic. It's an athletic basketball team coming to town. One name people would be very familiar with us in their starting lineup: St. Thomas. Remember St. Thomas? Right out of Miller North right now, averages 11 points, leads the team in 4 assists, 6 rebounds. It's a pretty little stat line for your senior guard at 6'7", 235. Like they go 6'7", 6'6", 6'4", 6'7", 6'10". All athletic across the board. Desmond Cloud is one of their guys to watch for. 6'6" guard, 16 points a game, and also dished out 4 assists. He's the one that dropped 31 at Illinois.
Yeah, I don't have a good grip on tonight. I don't know. This 4-game losing streak, what are you supposed to get out of it? Like, we've lost 4 in a row.
Yeah,
One of them at home. Like, I don't have a lot of confidence for
It's
tonight.
still in front of you. I think Fred said it yesterday. You got to keep grinding this thing out. Obviously, defense has not been our strong point. We've given up almost 15 threes a game during this losing streak. We got to figure out the 3-point defense. It seems like they're always open. And by the way, when they're always open, the open shot, it seems like they always hit those shots against us. We got to, I mean, this is like a broken record for most basketball teams, right? When we talk about it, defense, got to communicate, got to defend the 3, right? You got to quit turning the damn ball over at the worst times. Quit turning the ball over.
Yeah.
Okay. Teams that turn the ball over in those times, and that not the but just the unforced crap. Value the basketball. I know it's such a term of a whatever, but value the basketball. Right? We saw so many different possessions where it's like, and then also I think you got to come out and punch tonight.
Yeah, you do.
Be the guy. Be those dudes.
Yeah, and
punch them, and they're from it's cold, right? They're gonna be cold coming to town. We need that. Students are back tonight, I believe, for the first time, right? So that should provide some energy.
Yeah,
in the crowd, which I know it's been down as of late because these 8:00 starts are tough, by the way.
So I don't know if it's not exactly time to start panicking, but if you don't start winning, it will be here soon. Let's not forget the bottom 3 teams in the conference do not make the Big Ten basketball tournament. And right now, Nebraska is sitting 4th, tied for third to last at 2-5. So you got to get out of this hole or else you're struggling to make the conference tournament, something that nobody in this fan base thought was even possible.
All these wins are just as valuable as the next one at this point.
Yeah.
Right. And then again, but some of this is going to be on the coaching, by the way. And I'm going to ask T about that. He's right there. So let's do this. Let's take our first break right now. We're going to get to a lot of questions about this team and where it can go from here. Henry T. Buchanan coming up.
You're listening to the Morning Hookup with Bill Hooks and Will Wilson. More coming up.
See here.
What up, T?
What's up, fellas?
It's cold, brother. It's cold.
Oh, I can see your attire. Is it cold in the studio?
Well, yeah, it don't matter. If it's below 60, I'm cold. I'm surprised I have my gloves on. Will's got gloves today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It ain't as cold as it was yesterday. They canceled school yesterday here.
Due to the cold?
Yeah, like negative 20, minus 20 wind chills yesterday morning.
Ooh, wee. Man, we used to walk in that weather.
Yeah.
It's soft now.
Up in Indiana.
Yeah. Yes, we did.
Uphills. Hey, you went uphills both ways?
Oh, definitely. And then the bad part about it, in high school, 78, we had a big snowstorm in Muncie, Indiana, and during the school year, and it was brutal.
Your mama slapped that coat on you and said, go.
And they were not calling off school due to weather. Trust me. State Farm, I've been when I was at corporate in Bloomington, I think we closed the office maybe twice, and they probably had closed that office maybe 3, maybe 4 times in the history of the office. And we've been around over 100 years, so State Farm is still the number 1 auto insurer and homeowners insurer in the United States. But even though our competition is trying to catch us, but I think we're in good shape.
Good, man. State Farm. Yeah, I've known a lot of people who worked there. You know a couple.
Who's that?
Well, you know Jennifer.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
You know Jennifer.
Yeah, she's one of our underwriters.
Yeah.
I think no, is she still underwriting? She was underwriting. She may be Farm Ranch. I'm not sure. I haven't talked to her in a while. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, she's been around for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. State Farm is still a great company. I just talking about this company just yesterday, and just it's one of those companies that once you get in, it's hard to leave. They take care of their employees as well as the customer, and until you experience it, you have no idea. Because I know we're getting a lot of. I'm not going to really speak on the fires and the negative press because that's not my role. And, that's our HR department. But if someone was to ask me, I have a different opinion about about the company. But other than that, fellas, hey, I hope y'all, I hope the weather subside. I'm still debating about coming back for the last home game, which is March 9th. It's I think that's a Sunday game, I do believe, against Iowa. Maybe get that payback.
I think it is.
Yeah, I think it's a Sunday. So I'm thinking about coming back for seniors night, and it's hopefully we can finish this season in this conference. Man, I was looking at the schedule, and it is brutal.
Yep,
the Big Ten is brutal.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is. I mean, look at last night.
Yes, I watched them. Yep, I watched it. Oregon held on, and then.
Oh, did they?
Yes, and Minnesota took care of business at Iowa, and
Iowa looked bad.
They looked bad. Well, hell, I mean, the big one was Ohio State going to Mackey.
Yes, I saw that.
They were down 16.
Ohio State was?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and then that's the same team that Merle.
Hey, T, sit tight for me.
Here we go.
Sit tight, T.
Welcome back in the morning hookup. Happy hump day. Let's welcome in the Mac, the legend, Henry T. Buchanan. T, what's up?
What's up, fellas? What's up, Bill and Will? Man, I kind of feel your pain. I'm looking, we mentioned it earlier. I'm just looking at the attire, and it's a little chilly there in the state of Nebraska. And that's one part of the season I didn't really enjoy while I lived there. Actually, I lived in Lincoln, Nebraska longer than I lived in my hometown. I spent 20 years in Lincoln, and I left home and, after my senior year of high school. And so if you add up, I spent more time in Lincoln, Nebraska than any city that I've ever lived in. And so I remember those winters and the frigid cold very well. And it was not fun, but Lincoln football Saturdays, what's going on now with the volleyball program, both basketball programs, although, we're going to have to step it up starting tonight. It's a lot to root for. And I love the fact that we don't have professional teams there. Well, I stand corrected. We do have the Omaha volleyball team.
Yep.
And heck, I mean, that's phenomenal. The WNBA has a little league going on and a 3-on-3 getting ready to start. So they're going to keep it rolling. And it's huge right now.
T, let's jump into some hoops because I got some like big softball type, big type looking questions here. Obviously, the last four has not been what we desired.
Yeah.
The few games that we just can't hold on to. You go back to Iowa up 15-12, you lose. You're at home against Rutgers, a very winnable game that we just didn't finish. Here, my question is this: at this point, coaches are coaching, coaches are busting their butts, kids are busting their butts. Nobody feels worse than they do right now in trying to fix this. At what point is this all about the players? They got to execute. Those coaches, it's a grind. We know that, right? But at what point you got to go, fellas? You got to do it. We're giving you everything we got.
Fellas, it's the players from day one. I mean, the coaches do their job. And we can't, it's easy to point fingers towards the coaches when there's a slump. But those guys, they practice every day. The coaches is giving them the game plan. They're practicing them hard. But it's up to the players to execute. Coach Hoiberg is not going to suit up anytime soon. That's going to calm the waters. And at this point, I would hope, and I'm not there, and I can't verify this, but I'm hoping they had a team player, a players meeting only. And sometimes you got to look each other in the eye and make each other accountable, and it's up to us. I mean, because nothing's changed other than, and I think I mentioned this in one of the other calls, maybe last week, before, is that teams are scouting us and they are changing their offense to attack our defense. And then sometimes it comes a time, I think the defense is still phenomenal, but when teams, I've watched the last few games, starting with Iowa in that second half, and what Iowa did to us is bait us to clogging that middle, because they have a really good sophomore big man that can score on anyone in the country. And we were still stuck there, and we left some of those 3-point shooters wide open. Even the teams, it reminds me of the Texas A&M game last year, where a non-3-point shooting team all of a sudden catch fire. And it seems like every team in these last 4 games, or 3.5 if you count the second half of the Iowa game, that teams are hitting the threes. And I guarantee they're practicing the three. They're moving the ball that faster. In our rotation, we're getting there just by a half a second short, and they're getting these shots off. And at some point, we still one of the best defensive teams in the country, but when teams are scouting you and making adjustments, it may be time for us to make an adjustment and maybe not focus some more, because we got a 7-1 big guy in the middle. Let's see if he can stop some guys in that middle and throw some things off the glass, and let's focus a little bit more on that on the perimeter. Now, I haven't shared this with Coach Hoiberg, but what I have shared with Coach Hoiberg is that, what I've been seeing is we got to take care of the ball. I mean, you're talking about momentum breakers. It stops. I mean, my heart stops on some of this unforced, and I mean unforced. Now, if they're playing great defense, a ball deflection or something like that, I get it. But man, when we're just making mental errors and traveling, or just a bad pass where you were not focused, we're not concentrating, those are the ones I think is hurting us more than the offense of our opponents adjusting to our defense. Because we beat on most of these games that we lost, especially the Iowa, I would say the Rutgers. I think we had Maryland on the ropes as well, at Maryland. Those 3 games that I felt that we should have won, that it just didn't fall our way. But I always look about those. I don't care when the turnovers are made, whether it's the first minute or the last minute, but every time we're on the road and then there's a bad turnover, that stops everything, and that's an opportunity that we don't get to score. There's an opportunity, and like 9 times out of 10, the team is fast breaking on us. We're running back and we're scrambling. So I'm going to look at that for one thing, and the other thing from an offensive standpoint, and I know I'm getting long-winded, is that we have one of the best shooters in the country, and golly, I would love to see us push that pace a little bit more. I mean, we have a great offense, and Coach Hoiberg has the great offensive mind, but the best way to get our shooters open is push that ball. I mean, one thing Danny Nee did for us is we pushed that ball, and we're taking the first opportunity, that first shot on that break, while the defense is scrambling and running back, because our defense philosophy for all colleges and all schools is go protect the middle first and then go find your man. But what better way of pushing that ball up, getting that open look, because they can't find – Connor is open so many times when he's running down the floor, but we get the rebound, we get it to the guard. First thing we do is slow it up and walk it up. Let's push the pace a little bit. And maybe I should tell Coach Hoy, well, he'll get this late. He'll hear me. So.
T, let's talk about Aaron Eulis. This was a guy in the Maryland game who had a lot of minutes, something that we haven't seen, and he used a lot of those minutes well, played very well. Do you think we could see more of him tonight?
I would love to see more of him. I've been wanting to see more of him before the ankle injury and after. Is one thing that he brings to the table is experience. He's a former starter. And not taking nothing away from Raleigh. Raleigh had a great pre-conference game, but it seems like teams have adjusted to him, where Eulis has played in the Big Ten. He started for Iowa in the Big Ten. Also, the first man coming off the bench. He knows what the Big Ten is all about. That experience is invaluable, and I would utilize him a little bit more. I'm not saying he should be a starter, but I would pick those minutes up a little bit more because he's producing, not only on the defensive end, but he's running the offense. He's finding guys open, and then when we need a bucket, he's putting the bucket in there. He's putting the ball in the basket, and I love to see a little bit more of him. But I thought that from day one. I was excited when we signed him last year when he had to sit out. I was worried about him not becoming eligible, but once he became eligible, I've been fired up about him from day one. But I do love Raleigh and what he brings to the table, a big point guard, and he reminds me of Sam Griesel that we had a couple of years ago. A big point guard that can penetrate and set folks up. I like that, but I like the ability to change it up a little bit. And I would change when something's not working, let's change it up. Don't expect it to change, right in the middle of the action. Sometimes you just got to make that call, and hopefully Coach Hoiberg make that call and get Ulis on the floor a little bit longer.
When you did you ever have moments like that? Because I wrote down rotation spark, and what I mean by that is it time to spark the rotation? Is it time to spark the starting lineup? Did you ever go through that, and what did it do? Yes. Because I see moments where it's like I watched. There was a game I watched the other night. I forget, it was an ACC game. It wasn't Carolina. It was an ACC game. They were talking about this young man was in the doghouse for whatever, but as soon as he jumped back in, it was his time. There was foul trouble, right? Mm-hmm. Kid had to get back in the game. And all of a sudden, the energy changed. It was one spark, boom, right? Mm-hmm. Did you ever guys have to go through that? And is it time for Coach Hoiberg and staff to do that?
I don't think we need to shock the starting lineup, but I think, Morgan, for instance, he comes off the bench and he gives us instant offense, instant energy. Yep. We may take a look at that, maybe getting him a little bit more in a little bit earlier. Talk to Gary a little bit. Gary's been shooting the ball on the cake at home. that too. But I like to see him go create and get to the basket a little bit more often. And don't depend on that perimeter shot all the time. And make them play you. Make them play defense. I like to see Bryce a little bit more aggressive, but I love the way Bryce plays because he's not forcing the issue, and maybe it's time for him to start forcing a little bit. And we got to get shots earlier in the offense. I mean, we do a lot of, and then all of a sudden when it's under 10 seconds, and then we're scrambling for a shot, and Danny Nee, if you're open, shoot that baby, unless you're me. No, just kidding. Just kidding.
We know you had green light.
Yeah.
Well, I did and I didn't.
I believe T.
I feel like T, when you played that game, red light, green light, it didn't matter if it was red or green.
Oh no! I found myself coaching with him if I didn't listen. So I was there trying to figure out a way how I'm going to get in. Coach, we'll shoot it. Go ahead.
Yeah, your boy Matthew Malone thinks we win by double figures tonight. What's your score prediction?
It's according which USC team shows up. I've seen USC play great, and I see them. Mm-hmm. I see them lay an egg. I seen them beat Iowa, and they
beat Illinois. I mean, remember they beat Illinois at Illinois.
Yeah, Illinois. That's the game I was referring to as well. But their guard, that 6'6" point guard. He's not going to kill you at the 3-point line, but golly, that guy is strong, and he runs the offense. He gets to the bucket. He's going to create some problems. Luckily, we got big guys, with size like Bryce, and that will be it. Of course, Raleigh at 6'5", and strong. Ulis is 6'3". So we got bodies we're going to be able to throw at him. And then Sam is going to create havoc when he gets on the floor as well. So I think we'd be okay. But I just think it's based on which USC team shows up. If the USC team that shows up to beat Illinois at Illinois. But keep in mind, Illinois didn't have that freshman point guard that's phenomenal. And speaking of freshmen, I don't want to change the subject, but we got to give Prince some love. Oh my goodness!
National Freshman of the Week.
of the week, Cole Big Ten freshman of the week. And I know Markowski, at times has been playing great. I know she's our star and what have you, but my goodness, Britt Prince is taking this program by storm and the fans by storm, and we need to start paying a little bit more attention of what she's doing out there too in the women's program, and Coach Amy Williams give her some love as well. But between us, I have not given up on our team, and I never will. But I tell you what, I'm looking at the schedule. We get USC, Wisconsin's beatable. Thank God we got Illinois at home. Then we go to Oregon, they're beatable. Washington's beatable. Heck, I watched Clark Kent play last night. He played well. The former Husker,
Wait, who'd you say?
Breidenbach.
Goggles, Breidenbach,
What'd you
baby.
call him though?
Clark Kent.
Yeah, goggles.
Hey, he had a pretty good game.
Yes, he did. I was watching it. Ohio State. We can probably get them at home. We got Maryland. We got Michigan at home. We got Maryland. We got Minnesota at home. Northwestern's going to be tough on the road. Penn State will be tough. Ohio State there will be tough, and then we got to get Iowa at home. And I'm looking at the standings. We're only 2 games from 4th place. From the loss columns. 4th place right now. There are quite a few that's with 3 losses. We have 5 right now. It's time for our to turn the leaf, and we're not out of it yet, at least mathematically. But golly, this Big Ten, I said from the beginning of this season in this conference play that top to bottom, there's no cupcakes, and I still, with my heart, feel that we still got a chance of sneaking in that, in that upper echelon. I was saying top 5. It's going to be tough to hit that top 5, but I heard you all talking earlier, Will and Bill, about we don't want to be that bottom 3 and not get invited to the tournament. So the Big Ten tournament. So I think this is a game. It's going to be a lot of pressure on the coaching staff, but I think the kids are ready. I think he has their attention, and I told Coach Hoiberg after our loss against who was that road loss? It might have been the Rutgers game. It was a home loss, but I said one thing: you have their attention now. I didn't even elaborate. He knew what I was talking about. But for you guys, I'm just telling you have the coaching staff and the players' attention. We can't give up those games, and you know how to win. You've done it before, and we had a great season last year. It's time to recharge those batteries and hopefully these players are making each other accountable. And golly, I hope they had a players meeting only, because those are great. They always helped us out when we were struggling. Those players only meetings, and let's go get them, because USC is not going to lay down for us tonight. And every game, for the rest of the game on out, I mean, and this was there's 3 games that I think we should have won. We should have 2 losses. We should be tied we should be in 3rd place in the conference right now, but shoulda, woulda, coulda. That's unfortunate, but we can't dwell on that. We just got to focus on the next game ahead. We got to take one game at a time, and that's tonight, starting with USC. We got to get that game. It's imperative, but it's still based upon what USC shows up.
Yep.
Because I've seen them play horrible, but I've seen them play great as well, and so. Now I've seen us play great as well as too. So we just got to see what shows up. But I think we're going to respond. I've said this in a post on the Army, Husker Army side. I said this team is resilient. When the back's against the wall, we find a way to, especially at home. And then I heard y'all say the fans will be there. I mean, the students are back. They'll be there tonight. Oh, man, it's going to be rocking and rolling. So I'm pretty excited, looking forward to the game, and then we see what happens on Sunday as well. So I'm still there. I'm still drinking the Kool-Aid, but somebody is stealing some of the sugar out of it. But I'm gonna steal it back.
Love it. Well, T-Man, always a pleasure, man, having you on here with us. Just a good, candid conversations, and just keeping us lifted up. So, man, we appreciate you, my brother.
I appreciate y'all, man. Thanks for having me. Hopefully y'all can stay warm, man. We're in the mid-60s here, but it gets in the 30s at night, so it's a little chilly. 30s for us.
I know that's like snow.
Yeah, it's horrible. Tears coming out of my eyes, and they freeze my cheeks. So, but y'all take care, fellas. Thanks for having me, man. Y'all great.
Thanks, T. Thanks, T. Go Big Red. Appreciate you, T. That's Henry T. Buchanan, Husker legend right there. Let's take a break. We come back to do a bunch of stories that we missed.
More next on the Morning Hookup on KFOR.
All right. Boy, a lot of people jumping in today. Boss man's in the house. He threw some questions out there. Maybe he's early. He's a day early.
Well, he just got back from California,
Yeah.
so I wonder how that was.
Troy hanging out with us today. What up, Troy? Greg, what's up? Good morning. Greg's first Pinnacle Bank game tonight. Wow.
Greg, come and say hi if you're down below.
Thew Malone is taking his cane and wheelchair, headed to Florida tomorrow for the championship, 50 plus.
Wow, what a time to go to Florida when it's snowing in parts of Florida.
Do you get when you take the airplane with you? Do you ask for assistance to go down the ramp? Oh, sorry, I couldn't help it. I've missed you. Is that bad?
No, I just don't think it's a battle you should start.
Why?
Because it's not like you're too much younger than him. Aren't you the same age?
No.
Oh,
He said 50 plus.
ah,
I'm a 47-year-old man.
okay,
I'm closer. I'm close to it.
got it. You know, I got my guy Thews back.
I know. I just give him a little crap. Like to have fun with him.
I know you do.
Good stuff with you. They'll let me sit in the assist others aisle. Yeah. If you have the emergency exit, they look at you and go, "No, sir." Good stuff. That's what you got.
Do you have HBO Max?
I do. Maybe I don't know what's on it. What are you? What's
There's
the
this show on there called Bookie.
I'm in.
It is so funny, and I'm just got to season 2. I need to finish it because I'm using my ex-girlfriend's HBO account before she cancels it. So I gotta watch it quick.
You gotta get through it.
Yeah. But it's really funny. You should watch it. I think you'd like it.
To watch that. If you want to find Will the next week or so, he'll be cramming the show.
Yeah, that's where I'll be before the ex-girlfriend's HBO account gets canceled.
That's great. Oh man. Excuse me.
I don't watch it, Troy. I know a lot of people like it.
What's that?
Landman.
You know what's funny about me? I want to watch it, but I refuse to put Paramount on my TV with everything else I got. I don't know.
Isn't Paramount and HBO owned by the same people
I
now?
don't know, but I have to I went to go jump on it. I'm like, I'm going to start watching this. Subscribe to Paramount. Well, I'm like, no.
Yeah, I think.
Petty of me, right?
I think they might be owned by the same people. That might be the same
Excuse me.
streaming platform now.
Just made me laugh. My wife always gives me a hard time for that stuff. When I like nickel and dime stuff occasionally. And then she looks over my shoe collection. And she's like, you'll do that, but you won't do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a tough battle.
Shoes have a purpose. I think she's listening today, too. I better be quiet. I like the vibe today, Will Wilson.
Mount Joy.
Feel it. Welcome back in the Morning Hookup. Special thanks to Henry T. Buchanan hanging out with us, lifting us back up when it's been cold. It's been cold in a lot of ways. Nebraska basketball been real cold.
Yep.
On that side.
Yes.
Troy says he's been in Lexington, Kentucky for a while. Missed us. Missed you too, Troy. Thanks for hanging out. Shane, this is Paramount. There's Paramount and there's Max. I'm with you, Hooksy. They add up when you're paying $8.99 a month for all 6. Yeah, man, it's crazy.
Yep. That's how they get you.
It's a lot.
All right.
All right, man. Let's we got a daily wager to get to coming up. We got score predictions
What?
and
Yeah.
we got some stories that we missed.
The
Nailed
stories
it.
we missed. The Morning Hookup.
What do you want to start?
You
How about the Hall of Fame? We got 3 new Hall of Famers. Just 3. Yesterday, you got Ichiro, making the first Japanese player inducted to the Hall of Fame. 99.7% on this. He was 1 vote shy. The next highest percentage, by the way, is there's 3 of them, by the way. There's 4, the highest. Here are the highest. Ichiro and Jeter with 99.7. King Griffey Jr., 99.3. Tom Seaver and Nolan Ryan, 98.8%. There's people out there that are just like, you know what? It just can't be perfect. And you'll never know because it's a ballot you don't get to see.
And there's only been 1 unanimous in history, right?
Yep.
Rivera?
Yep, that's it.
Wow.
So right now, what you got? Ichiro, man, elected first ballot got in. CC Sabathia got in 86.8% first ballot. I think there's been a shift in the Hall of Fame, especially I think for pitchers and hitters. By the way, both of them. We're not going to see. Remember, it used to be like 400 home runs got you in, right? In batting average, whatever. Then it went to 500. Now it's like it's 500 is the tone setter for the Hall of Fame for hitters. And it used to be 300 game winners and like 4,000 strikeout guys. CC Sabathia, by the way, is a lefty. By the way, 200 plus wins. I think it's the new standard for pitchers, 200 and over 3,000 strikeouts. He said he'll go in as a Yankee. And Billy Wagner, 8th player in history to get in on his very last opportunity, the 10th year in there. He played Division III baseball, by the way, Ferrum College, same conference I played in.
Really?
He's older than I am, but he played at Ferrum College when you go look him up. Here's a few notables that have not gotten in, and you'll see as they continue on, which I think one is a travesty still. Carlos Beltran, he's up to 70.3%. This is his 3rd time. Andrew Jones, I know it's not flashy, but he is up to it's his 8th year. I'm not sure there's a better defensive center fielder ever to play the game than Andrew Jones during that. Then you got other guys like this. A-Rod is at 37. Manny Ramirez, 34. These guys are aging out. Manny Ramirez will be his last year coming up. So you got 3 in.
Okay. Very good.
3 in. Also, by the way, they just announced that also golf. Remember the show Full Swing?
Yeah.
Season 3 coming back, baby. Are you okay with that? You kind of balked at it.
Yeah,
that was kind of a look that you're like, wait a minute.
I didn't watch the 2nd season. I don't even think I finished the 1st season.
Really?
I don't know why. I'm just not about it.
Well, this one maybe intrigues you a little bit more, Will. So let me look up the here we go. Let me find it real quick. Here's what they're going to drop. February 25th, by the way. They're going to drop. Now, remember, they were pretty scaled back on the number of golfers they had and highlighted. What if I told you there's 20 of them?
Wow.
You've got Keegan Bradley, Dahlman, Clark, Finau, Ricky Fowler is going to make it, Roy McIlroy, Scotty Scheffler, Shipley, Thigala, Garrett. There's a lot of them this time. Justin Thomas back in it. Come on, brother.
We'll see. I don't even have Netflix right now, so we'll see.
Can help you out. Also, you see, Dan Hurley, you're a bum. By the way, can I go back and on yesterday? Dan Hurley's the biggest loser. I know. Did you see his stuff yesterday?
Yeah.
And what the lip reader came out and said? It just baffles me that he gets away with this stuff. If you guys didn't see it, it's out there. And Jeff Goodman tweeted stuff out. It said, this is pretty much what the lip reader said. Don't turn your back on me. I'm the best coach in this beeping sport.
He said that?
Yes.
To the ref?
To the ref as he was walking. Don't turn your back on me. I'm the best coach in this effing sport. Are you kidding me? At what point did you? I mean, I know you've won 2 titles in a row, but it still does not get you to that level. No T at all.
I mean, I'm confused without the T. He just seems like a guy who can get hot quick. Like, you know, we all know a guy like that where the little thing just makes him erupt. And he seems like he's that kind of guy.
Then he started yesterday of his interview. He was like, here's the deal. Like, I wish the cameras were on me 90% of the time and making me out to be a monster. And he's like, I know I'm not the victim. I bring it on myself. But unless you're getting clicks, why can't they put it on the game thing? Don't do that.
And they barely won.
They barely won that game.
They went to overtime.
They barely won.
Yeah, that's not the same team. They're not the same UConn team we're used to seeing.
Yeah. Do we have the audio from our head coach?
No, I can't find what you sent me.
Didn't send it yesterday. Maybe we can get into it.
Oh, I see it. I don't think many people on stream are going to be able to
They hear it.
though.
Well, it goes back. It's kind of a. I don't know if you saw this. Well, I mean, you kind of remember this at the beginning of the year when Coach Rule was talking about in this opening, I think at the Big Ten conference deal, that he's talking about how the Big Ten is the class and blah blah blah, right?
And that they should always get
get 4 teams in.
Yeah,
Then Feinbaum told him to stay in his lane.
right.
He said, "Stay in your lane. How about you try to win a few games to get to a bowl game,
Mm-hmm.
to some stupid bowl game is what he called it."
Right.
And now, then after that, post Ohio State winning, and I think Big Ten getting 4 of the top 5 in the last AP poll, Feinbaum admitted that the Big Ten owned college football currently. And there was a rendition. It was a little mixtape put together by Coach Rule, tweeted out yesterday at his buddy, Paul Feinbaum.
He's kind of pulling out a page from Lane Kiffin.
Yeah.
Lane Kiffin is kind of known to go on Twitter and
Do the
make
rant.
memes and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
This one was really good.
That's
really
pretty
good.
funny.
Whoever helped him do it or helped him put it together was pretty impressive.
And I mean, the most shocking part is Feinbaum actually admitting that he was wrong.
Well, and it's not.
I don't
think
know.
it feels good for SEC right now.
No,
down.
probably not. Probably, yeah. I mean, Big Ten's won the last 2 championships.
Do you see this story too? I'd say I often want to make sure that I want to believe this warms my heart, but it's also like they're mocking individuals. Obviously, we know Mark Andrews, right? Tight end, Baltimore dropped the 2-point conversion. They said, and this is the story on CBS, something positive has come out of the tough situation for Ravens tight end Mark Andrews. Buffalo Bill fans started a GoFundMe that was to help raise for Andrews charity. Initially, the raise they were going, and it's just again a great thing. It's a charity for juveniles with diabetes. Okay, according to the GoFundMe summary, the initial goal was to raise $5,000, almost $40,000.
Wow.
Like good. It's one of those things like, oh yeah, that's so awesome.
And I think we've seen that from Bills fans
Yes,
before.
we have.
They've done that in the past. I can't remember for who, but
and again, it's a good thing because it's the lowest point of Andrew's career. I know it is. He's getting a lot of backlash probably from
mm-hmm.
and he's a good dude and he's always got that right.
I saw some good news last night.
Sorry, you said that by the way. Hold that thought. I just found it said Buffalo passive fans. They donated over $250,000 to then Bengals quarterback Andy Dalton.
That's
and
what it
Weiss found
was.
after help Buffalo clinch.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Sorry.
I saw some good news last night. The Vikings and Kevin O'Connell agreed to a multi-year extension.
Yeah, big deal right there.
Pretty happy about that.
Playoffs 2 of the last 3 years.
I believe in that guy. I think he's a very smart offensive mind. He puts his players in good positions to win, specifically quarterbacks, even though towards the end of the year, Sam Darnold I think the pressure got to him. But I think it's a good thing.
Well, I think you got to make sure that you know what you got is good. It'd be easy right now for Minnesota to be second guessing Kevin O'Connell, right? 2 of the last 3 seasons, 1 and done, right?
I guess
that he can't like it. No, it would be. I think that the win now, what have you done it for me mentality?
I think you're double guessing the quarterback though before your coach.
Maybe now
because that's I think what ultimately lost you that game.
Now the organization's got to figure out what's going to happen next.
Yeah,
because do you bring Darnold back? Do you start the process where it's what's his say? JJ McCarthy in this. Also a retread coming back. I was Mike Vrabel, the next coach of the Patriots. Josh McDaniels returns this to New England as the OC.
What do you think of Chicago hiring
Ben Johnson? I think it's great. I think it's great.
I think it's a good hire.
I think it's a great hire. Then Ben Johnson's up and coming, man. He's proved it.
Yeah.
To that situation where he's at.
So who needs to fill their job right now? Cowboys.
Yeah, the Cowboys still got to do it right. They still got. Let's see here.
Raiders.
Cowboys, Raiders, Jets.
Right? Yeah. Jags. Or they hired somebody?
Yeah. Did they? I'm not sure. That's in. Or is it? The Titans are in there, right? No, they got a young guy. Right? Yeah.
I don't think.
it's just. I think maybe it's the 4.
Yeah.
I think it's just the 4. Let's look. Bears hire. Well, it's funny. You go there and you can look at the interviews they've done. You can mark them off, right? You can mark off the interviews. Dallas, Jacksonville, the Las Vegas. Oh, the Saints.
Mm-hmm.
They got the Saints coming in.
Yep.
I'm marching it, and the Jets.
Okay.
Those are the 5, right?
Yep.
There you go.
All right.
We got a daily wager, brother. What do you got tonight?
Well, I am just like,
and we're both bad yesterday.
anything I touch, it loses. I touched Purdue last night, -10, and they lose at home.
Yeah, they'll probably thank you for ruining their 26 home winning streak.
It's just unbelievable. It's really hard to believe how bad I am. But I'm going to be going at the Nebraska USC game tonight. I'm going to be there. Whenever I go to the game, you know what I like to do. I always like to bet the overs. So
Yeah,
I'm going to
let's
go
go.
first half over between Nebraska and USC. The number's at 68. So
All right.
over 68 in the first half tonight.
That's interesting because I was going to go to that game as well, but it's a first half. I'm looking at it right now. I'm going to take the first half Nebraska line. Nebraska is favored -3.5 at -115. I'll take Nebraska first half tonight.
Cool. Awesome.
-3.5. Because I'm going to be there too. I don't like to go to games where I don't have something that, root for.
It's going to be fun. I'm glad, I'll see you there. I'll be with some friends.
I get to
a lot
root.
of fun.
I get to root. And maybe if we have a successful first half, then you could double back and get the second half.
Right. Yes.
Because at some point that's called chasing.
Uh-huh.
Right?
Right.
It's not in my DNA to just accept a win when I get a win. Troy, I agree with you. Jones and Dale Murphy are getting, they got screwed. Hall of Fame for sure.
You want to hear a crazy Tiger Woods stat?
Let's go. There's so many of these and I love them.
Scotty Scheffler has now been ranked number 1 for 123 total weeks passing Rory, right?
Yes. Go ahead.
And Tiger's record is 683 weeks at number 1. So if Scotty wanted to catch Tiger's record, he would need to hold the top spot continuously until October 21st, 2035.
That's mind-boggling, isn't it? Do you see who's second? I think second on that list isn't Greg Norman rated, and I think Greg Norman held up for like 400.
Really?
A big number. Greg Norman was a stud that the Masters eluded him and things like that.
I didn't know that. Huh.
Yeah, let me look real quick. I know we have a couple minutes. I'm pretty sure.
Tonight's game is I am a little nervous for tonight because USC has shown that they could go on the road and win. Winning at Illinois is something a lot of teams will not do this year. So just the fact that they've done that makes me a little scared. The fact that we've lost 4 in a row, It makes me nervous. I just want to see us move a little bit more without the ball, move quicker without the ball, get open shots, get better shots. And I think that's, when we're doing that, we're looking pretty good. And the defense has to show up too, man. We got to close out.
Well, I'm with you. I just don't want to turn the damn ball over all the time.
I know.
Like, honestly, I don't care who the point guard is at that point, or even like we saw last week where, not last week, but where last game where Juwan Gary had maybe the roughest start of his career.
Yeah, tough to watch.
Of being with the ball. I think this game, Nebraska's going to win tonight. Here you go. Don't turn the ball over. Crash the threes. Let's go. Find a way to have a sense of pride in front of your home crowd and smack him in the mouth. And Nebraska can come out swinging.
Yeah.
Out of the gate. Get the crowd in. Get the students back into it. It's going to be hell for USC tonight. I'm in that 78-67.
Okay. I'm in like that 72-68. I think it's a close game.
78-67.
I don't think there's much of a gap tonight. I think it's going to be close, and you just got to keep playing ahead. Use the fans.
Use them. And then you got to get stops in that end. When the crowd gets up, you got to get stops.
Yep.
Tiger Woods, 683 weeks. Greg Norman, number 2, 331.
Half that.
Yeah. How about that? That's crazy, right?
I'll see you tonight.
Yeah, brother.
Anybody else going to the game? I'll see you there.
Go in the open and concourse area. He'll be the one with 2 beers.
Yeah.
At all times. From Will Wilson and myself, we appreciate you guys. Stay cool out there. Take care of each other. Catch you on a Thursday.